I'd love to ask you, maybe go into the story about how you were really had a great career going. You were investing, you were successful. Tell me about that story about what happened to you in 2008.
I'd lost everything on the stock market, real estate, on my investments, the house, the car, they were all about to go. And I remember having to tell my wife, and it was a very difficult time. And honestly, I contemplated suicide, and it was a difficult situation for me. I went up to my bedroom, my wife was waiting for me, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Look, honey, I have some really bad news to tell you." And she said, "What's going on?" I said, "Look, I've made some really bad mistakes, and we're going to lose the house, the car. We lost all our investments, everything." And it was a strange experience because I felt relieved because I'd been hiding it from her. She said, "Honey, I knew something was wrong. You've been behaving very strangely. I don't care about the money." I said, "Honey, I was doing all this for you." She said, "Honey, I never asked for this. All I want is you. And we have the kids. We'll sleep in the streets if we have to. Your family
Mhm.
wants you to be there for them, communicate with them, be there for them." And from there onwards, everything changed.
Everyone, I'm so excited once again to have another one of the most amazing people I know in my social circles and in my Platinum Partners community and in my personal development world, Anil Gupta. Anil is someone he's known as a love doctor, and he is a coach on relationships. And also, I think he's a doctor, an eye doctor too, by trade. Is that right, Anil?
Retired optometrist from London. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I'm just so excited. I wanted to throw that in because I thought that'd be fun. But I'm excited to have you here today because I want to talk about a lot of different things. I want to hear about your story and share that with everyone. And also some of the great programs you have that you're working on and all the great work you've done personally with me too, because I've coached with you as a single in
Yeah,
dating.
thank you.
And I want to talk about that and also what all the wonderful work you do with couples and relationships. Anil is he's recognized worldwide. You can see the heart on his shirt. He's always wearing a shirt with a heart on it. And he's recognized worldwide as a love doctor. And he helps couples rekindle their relationships when they're having difficult moments. And also he helps singles in finding the right partner, not just a partner, but the right partner. He's been married to Meena, who is the most amazing woman. I love her so much, for 34 years, and they have two grown children that are really successful and doing great. Let's dive right in, Anil. I'd like for you to go ahead and introduce yourself and let's get started.
Yeah, no, my name's Anil Gupta. I have the privilege of being able to speak in 18 countries, 8 languages, 4 continents, sharing beautiful practical knowledge. And I promise you today that you're going to get practical knowledge, practical things that you can apply immediately so that you have a shift in the way you show up in your life and how people show up in your life, because you're the common denominator. Jill's a very good friend of mine, and we want to serve you so that you can lead a richer, fuller, happier life.
Definitely. I'm thinking I'd love to ask you a little bit first, maybe go into the story about how you were really had a great career going. You were investing, you were successful. Tell me about that story about what happened to you in 2008.
Yeah, obviously, a lot of people suffered, and I was one of them. I lost everything on the stock market, real estate, on my investments, the house, the car, they were all about to go. And I remember having to tell my wife, and it was a very difficult time. And honestly, I contemplated suicide, and it was a difficult situation for me. I remember being at an event and I was looking down, and it was like 18 feet down. And I thought, if I jumped, Anil, you'd mess this up as well, and you'd end up paralyzed. And that's the worst thing you want to do. So I thought, Anil, you can't even do that right. So I was really beating myself up. And I went up to my bedroom. My wife was waiting for me, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Look, honey, I have some really bad news to tell you." And she said, "What's going on?" I said, "You better sit down. Look, I've made some really bad mistakes, and we're going to lose the house, the car. We lost all our investments, everything." And it was a strange experience because I felt relieved because I'd been hiding it from her, but I was confused at what happened next. She said, "Oh," and she smiled. And I said, "This is serious. Don't you get this is serious?" She said, "Honey, I knew something was wrong. You've been behaving very strangely. And I thought that it was something like cancer, that you were dying. And I'm glad that you don't have cancer. I don't care about the money." I was shocked because I
Oh,
thought, shocked. I'd never thought of it. I said, "Honey, I was doing all this for you." She said, "Honey, I never asked for this. All I want is you. And we have the kids, we'll sleep in the streets if we have to. And I never thought I would get that response because I thought that's what she wanted. And this is a mistake that we make in life. We assume that people want X, Y, Z when they really want ABC. And it's as simple as asking them authentically, what is it you want from me? And you'll be surprised. It's not that they want all of your time, but they want you to be present. Your family wants you to be there for them, communicate with them, be there for them. And from there onwards, everything changed. I got to speak on many stages. I wrote a bestseller book, invited by leaders of government, states, the Dalai Lama. Richard Branson has been to one of my events. I was able to coach people like Mike Tyson. But it would never have happened without the support of my wife. And when you have someone who's willing to stand by you and accept you and love his acceptance, magic can happen. It's rocket fuel.
I love that. And knowing you both and seeing your love, it really is beautiful. And Meena has just one of the most beautiful, warm, open hearts of any woman I've ever met in my life. And she's so nurturing and kind. And so I can see that in her. And I'm thinking to myself, if someone's going through something that you right now, like that you went through then, and what do they do if they don't have that support? How can they get through that and build trust with their spouse or their partner, and then rebuild and somehow come clean about it and feel safe and comfortable when they may not have someone as amazing as Meena to support them?
You'll be surprised how supportive people can be, how supportive your partner can be. And the golden rule is just tell the truth, because your partner can be an amazing support for you. You don't know, but if they don't know, they're second guessing, they're thinking there's something wrong with them. And that causes friction and that fuels the situation. Just tell the truth. And there's one thing I did that made the difference, and that was to give. In the moment you give authentically, all the pain and suffering disappears. And when you feel better, that gives you hope and that gives you light, and the darkness seems to disappear. So whatever you're going through, just give right now, whatever it is, a smile, a thank you, but call a friend, do something for others, give.
Even if it's a smile, if it's all you can muster.
Yeah.
And the other thing heard you say that was really key is giving with the right intention, or with the right motive, not giving to get.
Yeah, you have to give with no regards to wanting anything back, a pure gift. And if you get something back, it's a bonus. But in the moment you give, the other person feels great, you feel great. The receiver benefits too. It's a release of beautiful hormones through the body that everyone benefits by. And everything we do as human beings, we do for one reason. It's only for the feeling it gives us. So you can create a magical feeling just by a simple act, and that's to give. And you're giving to yourself too.
That's a really good point. And I do want to get into the programs and things you're creating, and this will dive into that, is that for someone who's single and they're maybe in a new relationship or not in a relationship right now, we've learned in the Tony Robbins world about this whole thing of level 3 love is where you give unconditionally, you put someone else's needs first. And I always question that, like, when does that happen when you're in a new relationship? At what point do you start giving everything you've got? And I know I've asked you this in coaching, so I'd love your answer to that. And then also is that really, yeah, let's start with that. At what point, what is this unconditional love? And you just meet someone. I just met a guy, and I haven't, but if I just met a guy and I'm going out and we've been dating a few months or maybe a few weeks, when do I start going all in?
The thing is, this is the problem, because what happens is when two people meet, they're basically two actors on stage. That the male is trying to please the female is trying to please the male. It's very natural, but it's a doing, not a being. So what I advocate is don't date, get to know the other person first, and then see if they're compatible, because the success rate in dating is 5%. 5%. Yeah, most people have maybe 5 to 8%. Most people have 10 relationships before they get married. Assume that's the average. What makes the 11th one the right one? They don't know. It's hopium. Jill, if I said to you, hey, let's go to the casino and I'll give you a 95% success rate on the roulette wheel, you'd say, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the process I have, is that you have to do your due diligence on your partner before you go into a deep dating frenzy, because you're trying to please them, they're trying to please you. And the worst thing is if you meet an A-list actor, a narcissist, a gaslighter, someone who is not emotionally available, someone who is basically crazy. You don't want that, because you get stuck with them and then you get comfortable, and then you get comfortable about being comfortable. But if you have a process, we can take away all the pain, all the suffering, all the guesswork, and you get to say no to a few people until you find the right one. And then you're not wasting months, years going on dates. It doesn't make sense.
I love it. And I want to then tell me more, because I would love to know more. Tell us more about what the process is and how we can get around doing the due diligence before we do the dating. I'm up for that, because I've had some of those. No, you know me. I've had some of those relationships. I'm like, oh my God. So I'd love to figure out what's the secret.
Okay. The secret is you being you and removing all the emotion, not falling in love, not making decisions, but collecting data. So you have to collect data. So for example, if you were to buy a house, you wouldn't just look at a house and buy it. No, you do your due diligence. You look at the exterior, the location, the neighborhood, the schools, the hospitals, the motorways, the noise, the crime, the appraisal, the survey, the history of the house, what it feels like. Is it north facing, south facing? Is this close to your friends? So you do a lot of due diligence before you make that decision. Most people don't do that in relationships. They'll meet someone and they have a good time and they end up doing something and they think, oh, great, I'm in a relationship. But they haven't curated it. It just happened. And this is one of the big problems. You have to do your due diligence, find out about them. Are they married? Are they single? Are they in a relationship? Do they have any emotional issues? Are they?
Remember, you told me to do a background check, and I've done that since then.
Yeah, and a background check is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and it doesn't have to be the police background check, but it's not a bad thing, because this is about your safety. This is about your life, and you cannot be too safe. And once you start doing that, you remove the emotion and then you collect the data. You ask, what was your worst relationship? Are they still around, your previous partners? Do you have kids? Is it a toxic situation? Are they going to cause drama? The last thing you want is drama.
Oh man, I'm telling you, Anil, I can't tell you how many times when you get those signals and it's, oh, they have kids and they don't have a good relationship. And it's, yeah, but he's a nice guy. They're grown and they're independent. Oh my gosh. Because we're already sucked in. We're already in before we did the due diligence, and we're already committed. And now we're kind of in it.
And Jill, there's a reason why we stay in relationships. Okay. So there are 3 criteria you must have in the right partner. One is that they must have integrity.
Oh, this is right. 2, I love this. I love this.
Okay. 2, they must be loving, not just to you, but to everybody, not when they want to be. And 3, they must be healthy, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Now, imagine you get into a relationship and you suddenly realize that they're not healthy, they're not integrous, or they're not loving. There's something that draws you in and keeps you in, and that is the 4th criteria. And that's the one that attracted you to that person in the first place. So it could be they're adventurous, they're spontaneous, they're playful, they're fun, they're generous, they're charming. Whatever it is that drew you in is the one that will draw you back into that relationship when things goes bad or south. Now, golden rule. And people may not agree with me, but it's a golden rule. Never, ever get into a relationship with a charmer, because they'll always be seeking attention and they'll never make you their number 1 priority.
Oh man, where were you when I was like 30 years ago?
Really, it's huge. It's huge.
My late husband wasn't a charmer. He was darling, but I have fallen for those. And actually I've caught myself a couple times. I think we talked about that. I had 2 I was dating at one point, and there was this one guy, he was really slick, and I'm like, oh my God, we couldn't hardly keep our hands off each other. We're having coffee for the first time. And I said, Anil, oh my God, this guy, I know this is this is a breakup waiting to happen, but oh my gosh. And so I took the smart road and I chose the other one, which wasn't smart either, but that's okay. It was the better of two, the lesser.
It was smarter. It was smarter.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's that charm. So the charmer, I love this. The charmer is never into a relationship with a charmer.
Yeah. Because they're always seeking attention.
That's the bad guy. Like the bad boys when we're in school, right? We always say the women like the bad boys.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's going to end in pain and they'll never make you a number one priority. And if you don't give them attention, they'll get it somewhere else. And they're good at hiding it. Now, that's great that you've done your due diligence on the house. But what if you wanted to sell your own house? You wouldn't just put it on the market. You'd clean it up, you'd paint it, decorate it, fix it up, get an appraisal done, make it look good, get rid of some of the stuff in the house. And that is what you need to do. You need to work on yourself first before you seek a partner. And then the beautiful thing is once you've worked on yourself, it's much easier for the partner to be attracted to you authentically because you'll be being, not doing. And you know what I mean by doing, Joe. You've seen people at parties. They're doing being charming and being friendly and being funny, but they're not being themselves. And it's a facade. It's a dating facade. And people get trapped.
Oh, you know, that's funny. And this just occurred to me as the last relationship of one of the restorations I was in. It was so interesting. I hadn't really had a lot of exposure to being around other people that he was friends with or his business associates. And towards the end, I did. And I noticed and then I brought him around my friends and I noticed the guy was completely different around other people. He treated me so differently than he did when we were alone. It was like an act. It was like, oh, can I get you something? Do you want something to eat? Can I fill up your drink? Do you want this? And I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, I want to date that guy. Because who he is when we're alone is he's doing his thing and I could be like a fly on the wall sometimes. And I'm like, what happened? He is the charmer.
Red flag.
Yeah, well,
because he's not being integrous because he's acting. He's not being loving and it's not healthy. So it's a 0 out of 3.
Yeah, I should have been talking to you about this one before. Okay.
Never too late.
Well, I hope this helps someone else. Never too late. I'm good to go right now. And I'm loving what I'm doing in life here with interviewing. But I tell you what, I hope that my personal example there, I hope it helps somebody there because it's really good. And I think this is why I share my vulnerable moments and my personal experiences because I want people to learn from them. I always say that is that I don't want to be silent when something bad happened to me. I want to say, hey, I had this bad thing happen to me. I used this product and it didn't work. So don't use it kind of thing. So anyway, so tell me more about the due diligence. So we get through the due diligence and we go, okay, they check all the boxes. This guy seems to be pretty decent or a woman, and that is the case may be. And so then what? Do I go out with him then? Yeah,
then you go for
by the way, how are we doing the due diligence? Say we met. Are you just not talking? You're not actually meeting in person?
You can meet over Zoom, over the phone, but keep away from restaurants, evening dates, things like that. Go for a walk, go for a coffee, because a coffee, there's nothing at stake. You don't have to dress up. You can be you because you want to see them as they really are. And you need to observe them observing you, observe them observing other people, and look for alignment. So if he says to you, for example, oh, I love children, observe him in the park and observe how he reacts and responds to children. If suddenly a child comes up to me, he's going like this, oh my God, get away from me. You know that he's not aligned. So there's something going on there. And if he says he loves children, but he never speaks to his children, or he never talks about his nieces and nephews, yes. and if he's got kids and you say, hey, do you have a photo of your kids? No, I don't have one. Red flag.
Ooh.
So
I have one too. Like when they say, oh, you talk to your kids regularly? Once in a great while, they text me sometimes, but yeah, we don't really talk that much. But yeah, they've got their own lives. They're grown.
No.
Snap.
Okay. And that's a data point. It's not that it's a no, it's a data point. And then you collect all the data points and say, you know what? I'm not sure, but let's continue collecting data. But there's certain things that you want to keep away from. And they're the things that if he shows a lack of integrity or he's not loving, how does he treat his mum and dad? How does he speak to his children? How does he speak to his friends? How does she respond and react to certain situations? Is she or he on any medications? Have they ever tried to commit suicide? You got to ask these questions, because
I agree.
you don't want to be stuck and say, oh my God, I wish I could have, should have. And I always ask people to preempt. So let's role play, Jill. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure.
I'd say, hey, Jill, I hope you don't mind, but I like to ask a lot of questions. Does that bother you?
No,
Okay. So she said no, but
it doesn't. No, it doesn't bother me.
asking her
That's-
questions, but once I start asking her questions and she gets bothered, that's a red flag. That's a data point, because she said that she doesn't mind, but then she does mind. So that's a data point. And it's not like question. So let's role play. So Jill, what do you love to do?
Gosh, I love hanging out with my friends, listening to music. I binge watch Madam Secretary repeatedly, and I eat way too many cashews in bed at night while doing so.
Wow. And it seems that you value your friendships.
I do.
Who's your best friend?
Sylvia.
Okay.
Sylvia.
So end of role play. See, I'm curious, but I'm not inquisitive.
Not like being on a witness stand.
Yeah. You've got to be present. You've got to create an atmosphere that's conducive to continuing a conversation, but you're collecting data. You're asking pertinent questions. What was the worst relationship? What was the best relationship? How did your last relationship end? You know, what could you have done differently? And if they say, oh, the last relationship, that's a red flag, because they'll say the same thing about you. And if they were cheating on their last partner to meet you, red flag, that's a no. And ladies, I want to give you one big tip. If a man asks you for your number, don't give it to him. Because as soon as you give it to him, he has the power. You're waiting around for him to call you.
I've done
so
that.
We can role play that too, Jill.
That's my advice too. I do that, is exactly that. When someone, like in a dating app or whatever, it's like, hey, let's move to whatever, text. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then if they say, what's your number? I'll go, you first. And then when they send it, I said, yeah, feel free to, what I'll also say is feel free to shoot me your number, and then we'll connect there, and we'll connect there. And then I just leave it there. I agree with that. It's like, I'm not going to give somebody my number first. The other reason for the dating app is because if you're talking to a bunch of people, and this is part of my program that I have with the Dating Like a Pro, is that if you have 3 different people you're talking to, and all of a sudden you get a text from somebody and they go, hey, how you doing, Jill? And you're like, who the heck is this? And you don't know, because you don't have the number and you don't know who it is. So at least you can cross check. That's one thing. Tell me, let's role play.
Okay. You be the guy and I'll be the girl. Okay.
All right. Hey, yeah, Anil, I'd love to talk. Let's catch up sometime. Love your number. What's your number?
Wow. Why would you want my number?
I thought we might get together, so I need to call you or text you or something.
And why would I want to do that with you?
So I got to stay in part. Gosh, I think we'd actually have a lot in common. It'd be really great to talk to you. Would you mind? Maybe I could give you my number, and you could, if you're comfortable, then you could reach out if you're comfortable with that.
Okay. So could I ask you a question?
Sure.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited to be a player. I'm excited to get to know you.
Yeah. There's a big line.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet I'd be front.
Yeah, I bet you would. So look, why don't you give me your number and I'll think it over. And if I feel comfortable, I may give you a call.
Wow. Well, sure. Here you go.
Okay.
And what does that do? What are you setting? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm filtering him, because the guy that you want to meet will never approach you like that, ever. He'll get to know you first. He'll serve you. He'll look after you. He won't jump in, and he's not going to be the guy that's out there. Most of the guys that would suit you are going to be in a quieter place. They're going to be gentler, kinder. They don't have to show off. They don't have to be out there. They're confident. They're kind. They're generous. They're playful. They're fun.
Okay.
unless that's the type of person you want. But if he's
Mhm.
used to doing that, if you say no, he's going to find 10 other women, 8 out of them may say yes.
So true.
So that's not the type of guy you want to meet. In my opinion, that's only my opinion. If
I
they
think
ask you
that's
for
where a
your
lot of
number,
women are. I think a lot of women are tired of that, and but they don't know how to have. When I had my matchmaking service, you knew that I had a matchmaking service here years ago, and I remember one of the women that was a client. I said, what attracted you to your ex-husband?" And she said, she goes, "I guess because he chose me." And I thought,
wow.
oh my gosh, that poor woman. And that's when I got into coaching, because I said, these people don't need matches. They need coaching before they get into dating. But that's what I think a lot of us do, is that we love to be chosen and noticed. And so we have to be so mindful of that, right? Is that we're worth more than someone who just happens to notice us. And then we go, oh, that guy picked me out of this whole crowd. He wants to go out with me. I must be special. And that's an
Yeah,
accident waiting to happen, isn't it?
it is. And if someone gives you attention, it gives you a feeling that you've been deeply wanting, and you think, oh, this is love. And you have an expectation that, there's going to be this big romantic thing. And then you lock eyes and you think, oh, I connected with him. No, you didn't connect with him. You just locked eyes. You don't do that often. So there's not this, oh, love at first sight. No, please don't think there is. Maybe there is, but it just doesn't happen. You've got to collect the data, remove the emotion, make an objective decision. Yay, nay, collect the data. Is he aligned? Is he loving? Is he healthy? Is he integrous? And keep on doing that, not just for intimate relationships. Do that for your friends, do that for business partners. Never get into a business relationship with someone who's not integrous. Just don't do it. It's not going to end. Use that 3-part formula, the 3-way test, I call it.
The 3-way
and that will
test.
save you. It'll save you.
Yeah, I remember that. And then you asked me when I did this thing, the integrity, loving and healthy, is you said, what's your fourth one? And I think it was, gosh, I can't remember what my fourth one was. I think it was blissful or joyful or gosh, I wish I could remember.
No, I think it was playful.
Playful, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, playful or adventurous.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. That was probably, that feels right.
Yeah.
But yes, you fill in the fourth one, and that's a center to know when
that reels you in and keeps you in that relationship. And we get comfortable about being comfortable. I've had ladies say to me, at least I'm in a relationship and it looks okay to the outside world. That's all they care about, but it's not fulfilling. You deserve to have an amazing relationship. And a lot of women have issues with their fathers, and that's why they get into problems, daddy issues.
Yeah, daddy issues. And really, to be more specific about what that is that it's needing that attention that we could never quite achieve. Is that knowing that we're loved unconditionally, so we seek it so subconsciously. And it's taken me years to figure that out. And the one that I love that I've been working with Deb and YBL is this whole pattern of not being chosen. That's a huge one, is that not being chosen, and then feeling like and tying worth to that. And it's taken me 52 years to figure out, like, heck no, I'm like pretty damn awesome. If I never have someone else in my life again, it's heck yes. And I'm doing what I love. And it is like it's a game changer, but it's taken me a long time to figure that out.
And Jill,
yeah,
it's not that they choose you, you choose them.
That's right.
Yeah, you choose them. That's huge for you.
Oh, it was totally. And I could tell exactly like my level of where I was emotionally at various parts in my life in the recent years. If I was having a bad moment, like in a business situation, or my life was not working out well financially, not like in a business situation, something like that, my health, my worth, my sense of self-worth was down. And then my choice in who I attracted actually dropped. And I was like, oh, that person came around right at the time when something really just blew up in my life. Go figure. And so it's really important, like you said, as to who do I need to be to attract the person that I'm looking for? And I've heard that for years, and I taught that for years, but it's no, what is it really? And it's really, don't just say it like, okay, I'm going to physically fix my body. I'm going to physically be healthy. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to all these different things. It's I'm going to meditate, and then it's going to be better. No, it's like really being so okay with myself that then if someone comes along, it's not like they're filling that gap. It's so liberating when you finally get there. And I'm not saying I'm always going to be there. Who knows? I'm sure at some point I know today I'm in a really good spot, but
Yeah. And a great distinction, especially for ladies, is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing missing. You don't need a man to fill you. You get to choose how you pick. You get to choose. It's your choice, not theirs. It's your choice. And that you are worthy and that you deserve to have an amazing relationship. And if you say no to enough men who don't fill the gap, who don't fill the three-way test, within a short period of time, that man will appear because you're removing all the distractions. Do not be fearful.
Don't be fearful.
And remember one thing. This man will appear when you become yourself. It's a being, not a doing. Just be yourself and he will appear without you having to look for him, because your vibrational energy will change and that will attract the right type of person in your life.
That's right. That's exactly what I've learned lately. I love that so much. I love that so much. And the big one for me is don't settle. Don't settle. This is good enough. Or when people say, oh, but he's good for now. No, because what it was doing is energetically, I've had so many friends, people that I've known, clients that I had that were in relationship or that have the booty calls. They're like the sort of casual hookup people that they could always go back to, or maybe even a friend that was a guy friend that would be emotional support if they ever needed anything. They're filling that, right? Tell me about that. What's that? They're filling that spot, right? Because then there's not the ability for someone else to come in because that slot's taken.
Yeah, it's a huge distraction and it's stopping you from being yourself and it's stopping you from finding the right person. Yeah. When you say no to X, you're saying yes to a brand new, beautiful, loving relationship, but you have to be strong. You have to have faith. You have to believe in yourself. You have to accept yourself. You have to love yourself.
Yeah. And again, not having that person that you just talked to get you by until the right one comes along, and I think that's the mistake so many of us make, is that we stay in something with one eye open somewhere else, thinking maybe there's somebody better around the corner. And again, the energy, we're not going to attract that. We're going to attract low quality, if anything. And we have to totally be willing. And that's what I was willing to do, is just totally, as I say, like just go out naked, so to speak. I got nothing. I have no back door. I've got no plan B. I've got nobody that I'm cutting all ties with anybody that I could possibly get any kind of validation from, whether it be emotionally, sexually, whatever, right? Is that I'm like flying solo for real. And dang, it feels good. And it's not like I used to mock people saying, oh, I'm going to date myself. I'm going to marry myself. I get it now. And it's not about rebelling against a relationship. It's just getting that solid foundation to be whole, to not have to find whatever that missing piece was that I was trying to fulfill that I already had in me all the time. It was just recognizing it.
Yeah, it's working on the house, making it curb appeal wise, but authentically.
Yeah.
And it's just a feeling. And if you feel whole, you feel complete, you feel centered, you feel you're enough, you feel that you're smart enough, you feel that there's nothing missing, there's nothing wrong. You're just being yourself. And then you become the light. The darkness will have nowhere to go. And then all of a sudden, you'll start shining because people will see you authentically and they feel it. They absolutely feel it. And you've experienced that, Jill, too.
Totally. Okay. So we get to the point where we've done the due diligence. They've meet all the criteria, right? So they have integrity. And you gave us some examples of integrity. So we can do that to do our collections, our samples. And then they're loving to me and others. And they're healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Okay. So they're checking all the boxes. Now what?
Then you go a little bit deeper and you spend more time with them and you ask deeper questions. Do you want children?
Are we dating are we meeting in person at this point?
Yeah. As you start having the coffees and the walks, you spend more time with them, but keep away from the restaurants, the actual dates, and experience them doing things. Go for a hike. How do they respond to walking, and how do they respond to other people? How do they interact with other people? Do something active. If you're active, do something active. And obviously you can have dates, but keep away from the alcohol, because things can get a little bit uncomfortable, and you might catch yourself in a situation that could land you into a relationship that you didn't really want to be in. And again, align. If they say, oh, I love sports, but they don't invite you to play any sport, do they invite you to come and watch them? Or let's play tennis or pickleball together. Let's do this together. You're looking for alignment. And then start to meet some of their friends, like you, Jill, experience when you start meeting their friends and they start meeting your friends. Ask your friends their opinion of this person, because they're going to be very objective. And I would strongly recommend that if, say, you invited a man into your life and you went out with friends, just go away for an hour or half an hour and let your friends spend time with him and get to know him and see how he shows up. Is he flirty with them? Does he say beautiful things about you? Does he say beautiful things about his family? So these are all data collection points. Speak to his mom, his dad, speak to his brothers. It's better to find out before than afterwards. If you get married and then you realize, oh, I don't talk to my mom and dad, or I don't talk to my brother, or we have this legal battle going on. It's a great question. Are you involved in any lawsuits at the moment? Have you ever been involved in a lawsuit? Have you ever been sued? It's okay to ask these questions, and you've already preempted it by saying, hey, do you mind if I ask you questions? And if they say no, and you start asking, they don't feel comfortable, again, it's a red flag. And of course, you would obviously say, please ask me anything. I promise you, whatever you ask me, I'll always give you a straight answer.
Yeah.
And also see if their answers match with their previous answers. Sometimes you repeat the question, see if they match.
So I remember it sounds so different than what a lot of people are coaching and teaching, but that's why I think it's such a neat perspective to have your point of view, because it can be so effective. It can save a lot of time and a lot of heartbreak. And even though we think we're aligned and we look at our values and all these other ways that a lot of people are teaching it today, is we jump in there and we get emotional and we get way too connected too quickly. And so the obvious question would be, when is it appropriate to have sex?
Okay, I would always give at least 90 days. And the thing is, if they're not willing to wait, what is their priority? Is it the physicalness, or is it you? And ask them, look, are you willing to wait at least 90 days before we have sex? And if they say yes, and then they get antsy after 7 days, red flag. See, it's a data collection point. And you've got to realize your body, especially ladies, your body is your temple. It's a violation if someone enters that body, then disappears. It's a violation. And you get to choose who enters your temple, and be very fussy.
Yeah.
Because it's a big decision. And when you make the right decision, it's so much easier and so much more playful and fun and loving to be in that type of relationship, because it becomes effortless, frictionless, and it becomes so deep and authentic. It's not sex, it's love.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I think that's so interesting too, is that we've heard studies is that the women are we get attached and we get naturally connected and with our partner more than men do after that. And it's a challenge. We've got to really be mindful. Like you said, our bodies are a temple. Wow. Okay. So we've met the friends, we've talked to the family. What do you think about talking about our basic human needs, or a lot of people are talking about things like our love languages. What about love languages? And how do we communicate with our partner and tell them what our love languages are? Do you believe in that idea? And then giving them a roadmap of how to love us?
Yeah, so good? Really, that's a great question. And really, it's just a matter of asking this question. So men want to be respected, generally. Women want to be loved, generally. Gentlemen, ask your potential partner, What can I do to make you feel more loved? What else can I do? What else can I do? And could go deeper. What can I do to make you feel more respected? What else can I do? What else can I do? And then women ask your man that, the men ask the women that. And then just have deeper questions. What do you feel about, there's two subjects I keep away from, religion and politics. But if someone's very political and someone's very religious, you need to address that. If we get married and we have kids, how are we going to bring up the kids? What are your thoughts on religion? What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on that? And they're important discussions, especially if you have a mixed religious relationship. You need to sort that out at the beginning, because you think, oh, love will conquer, but it doesn't. You don't want to be 5 years down the line and he's one religion and she's one religion, and the parents are crazy and upset, and you don't want that. Have the big stuff handled at the beginning, because if you don't, it's going to be such a difficult situation later on. And communication is the key. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But when you ask these questions, do it from a place of love with pure intent, not, as you said, Jill, as an inquisition, but more of a curiosity and more with a plan to, it's a no until it's a yes. Most relationships are yes until it's a no.
That was what I was going to say, is your key line you always used to say is what most people say, it's a yes till it's a no. It's the other way around. Anil says it's a no until it's a yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a powerful way to live a life. Say no to a relationship until it becomes a yes. But most people say yes to a relationship until it doesn't work. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, because it's hard to unravel it then after that. Because we naturally are designed to prove ourselves right. So if we're convinced that something is amazing, we've got to unravel to the point where we don't no longer believe it's amazing in order to see clearly. It's something could be incredibly ridiculous, and it's so good for us, but it's not. And so because we have to buy into that being right, which is in our innate, and it's innate in our our being, is that it's really tricky to do that, because it really messes with our heads and our psyche.
Yeah, and you were talking about that recent relationship where the man was so nice in front of your friends, and your friends are thinking, "Oh my God, Jill, he's amazing," and then you're thinking, "Oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I should keep him." It's such a painful experience. And when you say no, you're allowing yourself to say yes to the right person in the right time.
Hell
yeah. Yeah. And it'll be a hell yes, because you'll know, and it'll be so much more easier and smoother and effortless, and you can be you. You can be you.
Yeah. And I think sometimes going through these situations is that they're not for nothing. And I want everyone watching and listening, is that any painful experience or loss or breakup or abusive relationship, whatever you've been in, they become our best teachers. And I was listening to something earlier today. I think it was, oh gosh, what's his name? A guy from England. I can't think of his name, but The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. And it was that whole thing of just getting this space of knowing, just trusting and being in that space. I think there's just so much to learn. Nothing is by accident. And I'm grateful for the mistakes or those things, because it's almost helped me. Had I never gone through that, I probably wouldn't have had those darkest moments of feeling so much pain, that I had to figure out a way to connect closer with my higher being and with God, through that space of like, all right, if everything was fine, but boy, we're in those moments. I always say the best country Western songs are written when someone's breaking up and they're like, my dog done left, whatever, all this stuff, right? And those are the best country Western songs, is that we do our best work and we grow the most when we've experienced things like that. So we shouldn't look down upon our mistakes or our situations that don't work out.
Yeah.
Be grateful.
Honestly. And we don't know what we don't know. For example, Jill, if you meet someone and he's the right guy, you're with him for the next 47 years, it's the most important part of a race. It's not the start, it's the finish. How are you going to finish the rest of your life? Are you going to have this most amazing relationship, or are you not? Are you going to hold on to all the pain and suffering and not forgive? And that's another big point, Jill, is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is the express pathway to freedom. The quality of your life is dependent on the depth and authenticity of the forgiveness you extend to yourself and to others. And it's such a big thing, because if you're not going to forgive, you're going to bring that into your next relationship, and it's going to hurt.
Yes. And I want to bring that up because I know we've talked a lot about relationships and dating today. And before I forget, I do want to mention that Anil does work with people one-on-one, and he has, I'm going to put it in the description, but you definitely want to check out Anil. He has www.chatwithanil.com. You can schedule a one-on-one call with him. And also just look him up on YouTube. He's got a great channel and also a TED Talk. And so I specifically didn't ask a lot about the story because I want you to go there and see it, because there's so much more to Anil. And I really wanted to dive deep a little bit more on dating today and really pick his brain. And so we can all take advantage of his coaching and advice. So I got a little free coaching today myself, which was cool. And I hope it helps everybody else too. But yeah, so tell me anything else, Anil. I'd love to just, before we finish up, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I'm just always so impressed. I know you also tell us about the new programs that you're creating too, that we can get into.
Yeah. So I'm creating an online program for singles so that they can find their, it's called the Perfect Partner Program. It'll be live in about 6 weeks' time. Okay. And if you're interested, just let Jill know and she can put your names down and we can do a soft launch. But you have to realize that this is your life. This is a precious life. And just take your time. There's no rush. There's nowhere to get to. Work on yourself. And I promise you, things will change for you, to you. And that you get to lead this beautiful life. This, using some of the principles we've spoken about today, will add more years to your life and more life to your years. And just applying the three-way test. And the beautiful thing about the three-way test, I want you to back test it on your previous relationships. And I promise you,
I was doing that in my head while you were going through it again. I'm like, whoops.
Every time. It always works. It always works. And believe in yourself, look in the mirror. And here's a little exercise. Okay, on a piece of paper, write down your name. Okay. And on the left-hand side, write down how much you love yourself out of 10. Okay. And on the right-hand side, write down how much other people love you. Is there a big difference?
If I would have answered this question maybe 6 months ago, the number would have probably been a 6. And today I think it's about an 8. And I would say people that know me, they love me, and it's a 10.
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
Close. But yeah, but I was in a bad spot for a while there. So I would say I'm definitely higher up. I didn't want to go 10 because I know I feel like there's still some issues.
Yeah, we all do.
But I really feel good about that. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
but not always. I can go back and say, what if it was a 6? I was a 6.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm a 2. But the thing is, don't live there. Ask yourself, what do I need to do? Do I need to give? Do I need to grow? Or do I need to be grateful? They're the 3 things you need to do to raise your score. Give, grow, or be grateful.
Okay.
So that's where awareness comes in. Awareness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you action. And action gives you results, which gives you momentum, which gives you everything. You cannot be happy. You cannot be in love. You cannot be successful without awareness. So if you master the awareness, you can show up differently. You can be instead of do, and then you can have that self-confidence and say no to people without fear of doing the wrong thing or missing out. And then that allows someone to come into your life.
Yeah, I get the awareness part. And just to give an example, I think is that it's really going into inquiry. If I see something, maybe it's even a personal thought or something that I might self-talk. If I'm going, oh God, that person, I don't like them that much. And I'm like, or Jill, how could you do that? You're supposed to be like doing this other thing right now. What the heck? And it's awareness. And is that how I would talk to myself? I think of it like talking to a small child. Do I talk to myself that way? Would I tell a small child that? No. And then also about someone else is that being aware is like just being so conscious of watching the thoughts I'm having, the reaction, the choice of words. Is that kind of what you're getting at for awareness?
Yeah, and an awareness is an observation, not being emotional, not being attached, not being reactive, but to observe and see what there is to see, not make a judgment. So say, oh, that's interesting. I noticed he didn't pick up his plate after his dinner. Okay, that's an observation. I noticed he picked up my plate first, or he pulled out the chair for me, or he did that. So these are observations and they're data points.
Okay.
We have to remove the emotion and just see what there is to see, and then observe. I'm upset. Great, that's an awareness. What am I upset about? Oh, someone said so and so, but the truth is my intent was pure. She misunderstood. It's her problem, not my problem. So that way you can rationalize and not get judgmental, not get emotional, and the human beings are very good at getting down the rabbit hole, and they stack. Me too, I'm included. So this is where mastery comes in, because once you have mastery, you show up differently. You make a bigger impact, because at the end of the day, it's all about impact.
That's right. Yeah. So like when I get triggered by something, instead of just letting it stack, is to say, first of all, check in. Is it me? Is it something that's coming up from the past? Yeah, it is. But it really bothers me when he says that, going to the partner and saying, hey, I know this isn't something that you're doing intentionally. When you say you're talking too much, it's a trigger from the past for me. And I just want you to be aware. Can you help me walk through this and heal from this? Because this is something that does trigger me. And that's like an observation. Whereas we go, oh, don't say anything. Don't want to rock the boat, which was a big one. People pleaser. Don't make any waves because you might tick them off. And then you let it stack and stack. And all of a sudden just the top blows off and you go crazy. So it's really trying to deal with it in the moment and being so aware when there's that moment of, oh, something hit me. What happened? And I noticed it, and then dealing with it. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's where the awareness comes in. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So for example, somebody says something to me, I get triggered. Hey, and if it's my partner, hey, honey, could I ask you for some help, please? I just got triggered. Would you help me break that down for me? So I'm asking for their help. I'm not blaming them.
I like that.
Yeah. And it's coming from a place of love. Hey, I just got triggered. Would you help me? Would you be kind enough and loving enough to honor me by helping me? So you're not blaming, you're asking for help. Who does that?
Not many people, but boy, it's a lot
Yeah,
less intimidating and threatening when we do that.
Yeah.
Because
And
everybody wants
this
to
is,
help.
yeah, and it's a muscle. It's a muscle. And once you develop communication styles, and tone is a big thing. If you master tone, what you say, how you say it, when you say it, and listen more, speak less, and you compound this, the power of compounding all these modalities and methodologies. And I've got about 50 of them that we haven't even touched upon.
Oh, we got to do another. I think we're going to need to do more of these.
Absolutely. And you know
Yeah.
what would be interesting if we bring some people on, Jill?
Funny, I was interviewing Scott Martin yesterday, and I said the next thing I'd like to do with the Jill Collins Connections channel is not just the channel, but the site is to have all about building community. And I'd love to go and gauge the listeners and viewers, followers' interest in having a Q&A, get to like a community that we build where they can come in and they get access to asking questions of those that we've interviewed, and almost do a behind the scenes and have that opportunity from time to time, and not just a one time, but going, hey, way back a year from now saying, hey, Anil, would you want to come back and answer some questions? I think people would love to connect with you again, and having that access to people who are in a community.
I like that because it's practical and we're handling real life situations. We can make the difference, and happy to do that because that's one of my gifts, to be able to do very fast, rapid interventions that can completely change how you look at life.
Yeah, you've straightened me out many times and helped me get in a good way. Just it's being in that state of, I don't know what to do. And then just the calmness and saying, okay, here, take a look here. And it's okay. And within minutes, it just turned it around. Yeah. So I'm grateful to you.
Same thing happened yesterday. I had a lady here and I asked her what her relationship was like with her sister. And it was like a 2. And then we did something in a reframe and it went up to a 10 in 4 minutes. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you this straight right now. Your life can change in minutes. All you have to do is be ready. Let go. Because if you don't let go, you're going to be holding on and it's going to be so painful. But if you listen to all of Jill's YouTubes, because she's got some masters on there, just one sentence from one person can change your life completely. And there's one sentence that changed my life, and this is what I'm going to share with you right now.
Yes.
If I can remember it. Be so amazing that you cannot be ignored. And if you are ignored, it doesn't matter, because how you show up on this planet will be a magnificent soul. This one sentence changed my life. So today, just be so amazing, be so giving, be so grateful, be growing. And the compounding effect of that over a month, a year, 10 years, 50 years will be incredible.
So you said it's gratitude, growth, great, and giving, the three
Yeah.
G's.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the formula for living a fulfilled life. Give, grow, gratitude. And anytime you're upset, look at those three G's and ask yourself, which one do I need to work on? And everything will rise. It's really powerful. It always works.
I saw that in one of your talks, as you said that to also, like you said about how much do I love myself? Do others love me? As you said, to do a scale of 1 to 10 and do a check-in on each of those. And whichever's the lowest, that's the one we need to work on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. I love that. I love that. We'll definitely have you back. I just can't wait. And I'm so excited about your programs. So the couples, the Perfect Partner program, is that for couples or singles, or are you doing one? You said you're doing one for each?
The first one is for singles,
Okay.
and that'll be out probably in July. And then the next one will be for couples, which will be in September.
Okay. Okay.
So
Great.
if you're looking for a partner and you need methods and methodologies, this is the program for you. It's called the Perfect Partner Program, and it will transform your life. I'm going to really fast track it. I'm looking to make it a 6 to 8 week program so that you get the maximum benefit in the shortest period of time. Because obviously there's an urgency here, because love is everything. There are two most important things in life, are relationships and health. And if you don't have those, you're missing out.
It's true. It's true. And I think what I keep hearing and seeing so much of is the loneliness situation, as people are settling for connection, but it's this finding other ways to fill in those empty gaps. And I think it's so important that we have that person in our life who's healthy for us, and that we can actually build and grow and be our best selves, and not just a placeholder that's this like facade that is filling in that spot. Like the person who has that top seat for you better be damn good, better be the best of the best for you, not just somebody who's just kind of filling in the seat. It's not a seat filler. What they call it at the Emmys and the Grammys, it's like the seat filler, the person who has to fill up the empty seat when the person goes up on stage. Don't get one of those.
I do. And I just had a visual. So imagine you're at a bus stop and 5 or 6 buses come, and you think, oh my God. Think, damn it, I'm going to take the next bus. But it's going to take you to the wrong place. You have to be patient. And one sentence here is this: infinite patience produces immediate results. If you know that you're going to meet your compatible partner, be patient now, because it'll happen. Don't take the wrong bus.
Amen. No more wrong buses for this girl. And I hope nobody else is watching. This is the goal. This is the focus. Yes. Oh my gosh, Anil, thank you so much. I really appreciate your friendship.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for the time. And
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And definitely share this interview with someone I know if you're watching, you need it, or someone who does. So share this thing because it's good, and subscribe. Okay. And get connected. Definitely get connected and do that. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jill. Bye.
Bye. Okay. All right.